In today's video, I am going to be giving you my first impressions of new fragrance releases. Plus, I am also going to be talking about fragrances that are launching very, very soon. So if you want to hear more, then please do keep on watching. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's the first time you are visiting. Thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to share with you some of these new fragrances that I have in my collection. Plus, as a bonus, I'm also going to be talking about up and coming new fragrance releases, and I have my eye on a couple of these new fragrances that are launching very soon, and I can't wait to share more details with you, plus give you my kind of first impressions on if I am interested in purchasing the new release or not. So without further ado, let's get started on the first new fragrance that I have in my collection. So the first fragrance I want to share with you is a very new release, and it is from the house Etat Libre d'Orange. I'm really sorry about my pronunciation. I am going to pop the name on the screen. And the name of this new fragrance is Pont Mirabeau. This is so embarrassing for me, I know. However, what is important is the fragrance. And first and foremost, this bottle is really, really pretty. You probably can't see it in too much detail on the screen, but I just want to let you know in future videos, I am going to be doing close-up shots of each fragrance I talk about too. So I'm gonna level up my editing game a little bit more. But this fragrance really took me by surprise in the best way possible. And I don't wanna say that I wasn't expecting much from it, but in a way, I wasn't expecting much from it. And upon first spray, I was like, wow, this fragrance is absolutely gorgeous. So I called my husband in the room and I was like, smell this fragrance. And he really loved it too. And what's even better is this fragrance is absolutely perfect for the summertime. It was a really hot day in the UK yesterday. It still is today. And it was 29 degrees Celsius, which I know isn't super hot for some people, but for the UK, it is basically boiling, and that is the best we're going to get. And this fragrance absolutely cut through that heat and just left me feeling really refreshed. It almost has a coolness to it, which is really hard to explain, but it gives me a really refreshed, icy feeling. But there's lots of citruses in here. It's a teeny bit aromatic and then beautiful and woody in the base. Now, the scent profile isn't necessarily something that I would go for, but that's why it took me by surprise. When I read you the notes, you'll probably be thinking, okay, well, this isn't your normal scent profile, and it's not. But equally, that's what I love about it, because I'm branching out into new scent profiles that I didn't realize that I would love so much. So let's go through some of the notes in this fragrance. In the opening, you have a juicy blast of bergamot, followed by some pink pepper and some fig leaf. And that fig leaf is so delicious in here. It does give it a little bit of a green quality, and that is why it works so perfectly in the high heat. There are also some C notes and ozonic notes listed within the breakdown, and it does feel refreshing. It is a little bit salty, but I'm not going to say it feels beachy in any way. It just feels refreshing, like I mentioned. I guess it could replicate the feeling of being on a boat, maybe on a lake or in the sea, and you're going relatively fast, so you're getting a little bit of sea spray. There's high temperatures, and that sea spray is just hitting your skin and making you feel really refreshed. That is what I get from this fragrance. This is giving me clean aesthetic, but make it fresh. You've got that nice woody feeling to it. There's a little bit of musk. You've got the violet to add a slight powderiness, the fig leaf giving you that green edge, the citrusy bergamot, a little bit of pink pepper, and then the vanilla to ground it and give a little bit of sweetness in the base. I think it's a really stunning release. I would highly recommend getting a sample if you like the sound of the notes. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying this fragrance at the moment, so I wanted to share it with you. If you have tried it, please let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments, but also please let me know your thoughts on this type of scent profile, because I'm really curious to hear if you are also drawn to this type of scent profile. The next fragrance is by Theodorus Kalotinis, and it is the newest release, Lemon Tart. The bottle was kindly sent over to me from Gabby Loves Perfumes. I'm sure some of you already watch her YouTube channel, but if you do not, she is also from the UK and does lots of YouTube reviews. And Gabby kindly sent this over to me because she is launching, or just launched, her online retail store, which is called My Perfect Scent. I'm so happy for you, Gabby, and so proud of you. That's a big, big step, and I think it was really needed. And My Perfect Scent is going to be stocking hard to find niche fragrances here in the UK, which is incredible because a lot of these niche brands that aren't from the UK are really hard to source here. Plus we get hit with big customs fees, which is one of the big reasons that Gabby decided to launch a store. So Gabby kindly sent me over Lemon Tart, which she will be stocking on My Perfect Scent. I'm going to link the store down in the comments below. So if you are from the UK and want to check out some incredible niche fragrance houses, I'd highly recommend going over to her website. She did also mention that she is going to be decanting certain fragrances too, which is even more exciting. So yeah, another big congratulations to you, Gabby. I am so happy that you are launching this store, because it means that I can also access some of these niche brands that I have had on my wish list for the longest time. So let's get on to Lemon Tart. Now, as soon as I sprayed this fragrance, I gasped so loud that James had to walk into the room and be like, "What are you gasping at?" And Lemon Tart is an ultra realistic gourmand fragrance. I do not know how they captured, or how he captured, the essence of lemon tart in a fragrance. It's mind-blowing to me. And what I personally get from this is a lemon meringue tart, which is one of my favorite things in the world. It just smells exactly like that, to be quite honest with you. I get the buttery pastry, flaky pastry. I get the lemon, it's like a lemon curd, not so much like a milky lemon. So a lemon curd, very tart. And then I'm getting the meringue on top. Super delicious, very sweet, very gourmand. It literally smells like lemon tart. I honestly have no idea how they've done this. It would be like there's a lemon tart literally under my nose. So if you like your literal gourmands, then you absolutely have to check out Lemon Tart. It is a really interesting fragrance. Now, I've not done a full day wear test on it yet, so I can't speak about the longevity. This only landed at home yesterday and I sampled it on my hand only. So this is very much a first impressions, but I am super impressed with how they captured, or how he captured, the essence of a lemon tart, to be quite frank with you. And this house is an affordable niche brand, so I'm going to put all the links down in the description box below. I have a couple on my wish list that I'm going to be ordering from Gabby's new store. So yeah, thank you so much, Gabby, for sending this over to me for review. I appreciate you so much, and congratulations on My Perfect Scent. Next up, we have another new fragrance. This time it is Mangonificent from Unique Luxury, another house that is very hard to source here in the UK, but I am so grateful to have my hands on a bottle now and to be able to give you my first impressions of it, because I am a big fan of mango. I didn't know what to expect from this. I have seen a few reviews, but they are quite different, to be quite honest with you. And my first impression when I smelt this was like, okay, this is extremely powerful. I'm gonna say this is like nuclear level strong. So if you like your strong fragrances and you want your fragrance to last all day, this is an extrait, so no wonder it's nuclear, but this is a mango fragrance that's going to last you all day. However, Mangonificent is maybe a little bit different from what you will be expecting or what some of you may be expecting. This is not like the other really sweet lactonic mango fragrances on the market. It's extremely unique in scent profile. That was a little bit of a play on words. This is unique from Uniquely Luxury. And there absolutely is a very, very strong mango note in the opening, but this fragrance has some balls. It is strong, it has depth, there's a lot going on in here, to the point where I actually sprayed this again this morning on a paper test strip so I could sample it another time before reviewing it. And I was just walking up my stairs and I could smell this from my stairs, and the sample was all the way in the back of the room. I can't believe how nuclear it really is. So if you want an incredible scent bubble, you're going to get it with Mangonificent. What I will say is this is absolutely a unisex fragrance. However, I would say for my personal taste, this is more masculine leaning. There is a lot of patchouli in the base, and I pick out a lot of patchouli throughout the life of the wear. Plus, I also get quite a hefty dose of the moss note. There are some florals within the composition. However, I don't perceive them front stage and center. I mostly get the mango and the bergamot in the opening, but the patchouli comes through super fast, to my nose at the very least. And it makes this almost, I don't want to say a dirty mango fragrance, but it's very deep, dark, and a little bit edgy. There's some honey and there's some vanilla in the base. There's a little bit of musk, but truly what I'm mostly getting is that patchouli is very, very potent within this composition. So if you are not a fan of patchouli, I would 100% get a sample of this one before you blind purchase it, just because it's not going to be a very sweet tropical mango fragrance in any way. But you are getting lots and lots of mango in the opening with that bergamot. I am getting the honey actually in the opening too. I pick out some rose, very lightly done, but I'm already getting the patchouli from the bottle. Yeah, very, very unique, but I will say I don't think this is a safe blind buy, but the quality is exceptional. The composition is really unique. So I will give it props for that. This was kindly sent over to me from Imperial Fragrances, which is a really cool UK store. They also stock decants, which I'm going to share a couple of decants shortly with you. And if you are looking for a retailer here in the UK that has a good variety of niche decants and designer, then Imperial Fragrances would be my go-to recommendation. So that was Uniquely Luxury Mangonificent, and now I'm just going to talk about a few of the decants. So as I mentioned, Mangonificent was sent over from Imperial Fragrances. They offer decants from lots of different brands. So I'm just going to read out a couple of the brands for you here. So they stock Amouage, BDK, Killian, Byredo, Dior, Louboutin, Creed, Initio, Juliet Has a Gun, Kajal, Chiale, Le Labo, MFK, Memo, Nishane, Penhaligon's. There's lots of different brands, so I highly recommend you check out Imperial Fragrances. They also offered me a 10% off discount code for you. I don't make a commission on it, it's just a 10% off discount code for you to use if you do want to order either some full-size bottles or any decants, and of course they stock Uniquely Luxury. And I have some decants here, and what I really like about Imperial Fragrances is the decants are really professional, and it has the official brand logo on the decants in their own font, which is super cool. So I have Penhaligon's Solaris here, I have Xerjoff Grand Ballo, I have Dior Gris Dior, I do have another one. I have also, over here, I'm just grabbing it, Xerjoff Ecento Overdose. So I am going to be getting into these fragrances in another video. but I've only sampled Solaris so far because of course I can't sample fragrances quick enough at the moment on the skin. And Solaris is a really beautiful new release from Penhaligon's. And I nearly blind purchased a bottle of Solaris, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because I think it's a really pretty scent profile, but it didn't necessarily blow me away. And this is why I think getting samples is so important before blind purchasing a fragrance at a high price point that you then have to gift to someone or move on. But I think Penhaligon's Solaris is pretty. It's a very likable, easy scent to wear, perfect for the spring and summer. But I didn't need a full-sized bottle of it. Let's move on to some fragrances that are being released now or in the future, because I'm sure you're really intrigued to hear about some of these new releases that are coming soon. First up, we have Maison Francis Kirk de Jean's Aqua Media, and I mentioned this in a different new releases video that I was excited to sample it and for it to come out, and I managed to sample it in Selfridges yesterday, and this one was a nice fragrance, but it's not for me. I found it very herbaceous in the opening. It's got a big dose of verbena and fennel. And whilst I do think it was a nice scent profile, it isn't a scent profile that I would personally wear and reach for. However, I would like it if my husband wore it because it is very refreshing. But yeah, I will pass on purchasing that one. And let's move on to another new fragrance. Sorry, these ones are just quick reviews before I get into the new and exciting stuff that's coming up. So the other fragrance that I sampled yesterday in Selfridges was the new fragrance from Dior, and it's called Dior Riviera. In essence, it's a fig and rose fragrance, and I absolutely loved it. I think it's very pretty, very wearable. It's exactly the type of scent profile that I really enjoy. I'm a little bit put off by the price point for the scent profile because it's Dior private line. It is a pricey fragrance, but that being said, I really did enjoy it. I've not sprayed it on the skin, so I am going to try and get a decant of it before I consider purchasing a bottle. But my first impressions were really good and I really like the fragrance. I'm hoping this video won't be too long, but I'm really excited to share some of these new fragrances with you, and I didn't want to do a standalone video on it. I was hoping it would all fit in one video, but we shall see. So I am super excited about this next new release, and it is from Guerlain's private line, and it is called Tobacco Honey. Super excited to sample this one. A picture got leaked about 2 days ago. I have no information about the notes at this point. I'm assuming it's going to be tobacco and honey given the name, and knowing how Guerlain do their private line fragrances, I feel like I'm going to love it already, but I of course won't blind buy it at that price point. But I am super excited to sample it. Please let me know what your thoughts are on Tobacco Honey being released. Will you be intrigued by this launch, and are you going to sample it? The next new fragrance is from Jean Paul Gaultier, and it is called Divine. Really intrigued to smell this one. I don't have any information on the notes at this point, so I will swiftly move on to the next fragrance. Another new fragrance that I am super excited about. However, there is no information on the notes. I'm not even sure if this picture is real. However, I'm just going to go with it. So the next new fragrance is from Killian, and it is called Smoking Hot. And I can interpret that name in so many different ways, but I'm just envisioning like a sexy femme fatale fragrance. It's probably not that at all. It's probably actually a smoky fragrance, but super excited to try a new Killian fragrance. And it sounds a little bit different from the fragrances that they've launched recently too. Next up, we have a new fragrance from Christian Louboutin, and it is Louis Horse. 3 notes listed: bergamot, neroli, and vanilla. It sounds really nice. Will it be worth the price? only time can tell. But just going off those 3 notes, it sounds really lovely. It sounds like something I would actually enjoy. So let's wait to test that one. We also have a new release from BDK, which has just launched. There has been a review already on YouTube from Demi Rawling, so go and watch that if you want to find out a little bit more. And it is Vanille Leather from BDK, as I just mentioned. The notes are pink pepper, violet, tuberose, jasmine, orange blossom, vanilla, patchouli, oakwood, leather, orris, and benzoin. And after watching Demi's review, I have to say I'm really, really excited to try this one. I was a little bit scared that this was going to be a dominant leather fragrance, but from Demi's first impressions, it was a little bit more powdery. I believe she said that orris and iris were coming through quite strong, and then you also have the vanilla. So yeah, super excited to try that one. Hopefully I will be able to give you my thoughts soon. We have a new fragrance from Fragrance du Bois called Lovers. It looks so interesting. I can't wait to smell this one. And just going off the nose, this sounds like a fragrance that I'm hopefully going to love. So I can't wait to share my thoughts on it when I get to sample it. But the notes are passion fruit, ginger, plum, and bergamot. Wow, it sounds incredible. Rose, saffron, jasmine, cedarwood, sandalwood, cashmere. So absolutely going to be sampling this one. I'm very, very excited to see what it smells like, to be quite honest with you. Sorry, I'm going quite fast. Please do let me know your thoughts on any of these fragrances and if you are interested to try them. We have a new fragrance from Ex Nihilo, but this time it's an extra version of an already popular fragrance that they make, which is Brompton Immortals. I am quite surprised that they're bringing out an extra of Brompton Immortals, just because Brompton Immortals to me is pretty nuclear. I find it very, very strong already. But that being said, it's a beautiful fragrance. I'm excited to sample it and see how the extra compares. Yeah, what do you think about them bringing out an extra of this if you've sampled the original? Just because I already think it's a really potent fragrance. We have another new launch from Mugler. This time it is Alien Goddess Supra Floral. And I feel like this one is probably going to be a little bit controversial, as with most of the new Mugler releases. So Supra Floral, so Alien Goddess Supra Floral, the notes are cactus flower, pear, immortelle, jasmine, amber, oak moss, and floral notes. So it sounds like it's quite far away from both the Alien DNA and also the Alien Goddess DNA. But that being said, I really do want to sample it. The notes sound interesting. So I'm hoping I will be able to review that one in the future. And last but not least, we have a new flanker from Carolina Herrera, and it is Good Girl Dazzling Garden. Wow, how many more flankers can we have of Good Girl? I'm just so bored, to be honest, of flankers. I like to see something a little bit new. However, the note breakdown just sounds quite far away from the original. It has almond, jasmine, tuberose, cacao, coffee, and amber. It actually sounds really nice. I do want to sample it, but I just wish it wasn't a flanker. It would have been nice for them to bring out a new fragrance under a new name. That's just my personal thoughts, but that is just how I also feel about flankers too. So as I already mentioned, there are so many new releases coming out. I could easily do another video of this next week or the week after. It feels like you like hearing about the new releases coming up. Please do let me know if you would like me to continue doing them as a standalone video, or did you like this kind of format too? But what I want to know is, what new releases are you most interested in trying? It could be fragrances that have already released or fragrances that are coming soon. Please do let me know down in the comments below. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure as always. I hope to see you in a future video to come. Have a wonderful day. Thank you and goodbye.